The world as we know it is in a weird place, but besides all of that, what's happening right now in this world, I have a very important question for all of you out there. What is wrong with you people? But before we answer this question, make sure you press the like button and tell me in the comments that you had a pretty good day and you had a strawberry milkshake with marshmallows and it was delicious. I can't wait to read that in the comments. This is a kind of unscripted video right now because I was scrolling through my Instagram bubble and I always see posts like, is he a narcissist when he does that? Is she a narcissist when she behaves like that? Is Jada Smith a narcissist because she was doing this and that? We kind of have an epidemic of narcissists suddenly. Where do they come from so suddenly? It feels like every person that mistreats us around us is like suddenly a narcissist, and God behave that it's us who need to change, or us that are slightly over the edge and are reacting so slightly over the edge. No, it must be the narcissist, and I'm such an empath. Does it sound familiar? I mean, it's just a quick Google search. Let's do it right now. How many people are narcissists? Experts estimate that up to 5% of people have NPD. It's narcissist personality disorder. Up to 5%, and that's just the first Google search. And that doesn't mean that's right. Probably it's way less, and also narcissism is a spectrum. We're probably all on that. And if you point to other people that they are narcissists, probably you are on that spectrum as well. So, because you probably know that saying if you point with one finger on a person, the other 3 fingers, I needed to count that, the other 3 fingers point to you. So what does it make you then? This is kind of unscripted, but I needed to get this off my chest because it feels like people will not take responsibility for themselves anymore. And I don't know what happened to you. Like, when did this happen? Like, it feels like overnight. I always try to live that way, that if I walk out the door and I meet one idiot, then I met one idiot. But if I walk out the door and everyone around me is an idiot, then I must be the. So if we assume that everyone around us is suddenly a narcissist, then probably we're on that spectrum as well. We're not that empath that a narcissist can overthrow or overwhelm so easily. I mean, it's easy to just point the finger and someone misbehaved or behaved badly, and we say like, oh, that's probably because you have a personality disorder, you're probably a narcissist, you're an egomaniac, or you're some sort of borderliner or whatever. We are so easy and generous to label people all the time. We do that with ourselves as well. Easy and generous to label ourselves. I hear that all the time. Or I'm a person who does that and that. Or I'm a person who is not interested in doing that and that.
Why am I such a loser?
We're talking here then about identities, but let's talk about the labeling stuff. And we humans, we want to label stuff. We want to put stuff in categories because this makes life easier for us. Life can be overwhelming. I know that. Everyone knows that. Like, we suddenly woke up in the morning and we're suddenly a grown-up. We're suddenly an adult and we need to know how to behave. We're suddenly 18, 21 or whatever counts as a grown-up in your country. We suddenly need to be responsible and to act as an adult. But yesterday we went to bed and we were still like a teenager or a child, let's say. And nobody knows how life works. We all try to figure it out and we all try to do our best. So life is overwhelming then, and we try to find explanations and meaning and stuff. This is why we have all the star signs in the sky. We try to make sense of all the weird shapes and say like, oh, these 3 stars totally look like a Leo or whatever. And why would we think that? But it gives us some sort of meaning. It gives us some sort of explanation why we are here and why bad things or good things happen to us. I kicked your neighbor on the shin and the next day it's gonna rain cats and dogs, and we can say, oh yeah, it's the thunder god that was mad because you kicked me. It made sense hundreds, thousands of years for human history. And we're still the same. We have like personality tests. You're such an NIJFP whatever. All this 16 personalities shit we have, this is like totally made up on someone's kitchen table, literally. And we have these personality tests in big companies that we apply for. But I mean, this is another total different topic here, and actually, because like everyone uses it, it gives us some sort of direction where we can look at it, and they're totally fine. But personalities are so vast and so different from each other that we will never find a concept or a category or category group that we can put so many people in, and or that categorization would make sense here. This is where labeling comes in. We don't know why this person behaved in the way they did, but it made us mad, it made us hurt, it made us felt a childhood wound maybe. And we try to make sense of it, we try to find meaning of it. So there is then this explanation that I must be an empath because I'm the hurt one, and they must be the narcissist because they the offender, and they probably have like only bad things in mind and they want to manipulate me. You probably could not be more far away from the truth, because you probably did not communicate. The other person did not know what your boundaries and your needs are, what you need in that relationship. So they never had the chance to act on it. And maybe if you talked about it, then the other person maybe just needed a refresher on that. I tell my clients all the time to live by the standard that behavior is not personality. Like if you drive on the highway and someone is closing up on you and giving you the headlights, and you probably must think, oh, what an asshole that he's trying to push me away from the street. It's so dangerous. I will show him now. I will drive extra slow. And this just makes you mad. Why can't you assume that his behavior is probably a bit annoying and aggressive and probably not safe, but his personality is not his behavior? Maybe he's speeding up on you or behind you because his child is in hospital and he needs to get there very fast, or he needs to get to his job because he has an important presentation. Why do you put it on yourself? Why do you assume that this person behind you woke up this morning to just annoy you, to just show aggressive behavior against you? Why can't you assume in the morning that everyone around us, every person in the world waking up every morning is trying to make their best, trying to make the world better? Yes, even the people that spill oil in the ocean, they try to make the world better. Their behavior might be wrong, but it's a different way of thinking to assume that everyone around you wants to live in this world and wants to make this world better for their offspring. Why don't you assume that every person in the world deserves love and deserves to be seen and deserves to be recognized and be respected? Humans are not perfect. Nobody is. We all have our emotional baggage to carry. Be it a childhood wound, an abandonment wound, a sort of attachment style, a trauma that happened to us in our past and we formed a coping strategy around it. Some things, some situations in our life trigger that coping strategy, and we might not get along with some people because our behavior mismatch with the expectations of other people. That's totally fine. But it's on you to put it on yourself, to assume that this person has a bad intention. Why don't you assume from now on that everyone around you has a good intention? Maybe their behavior is wrong. And behaviors are easy to change. By telling those people what our needs are, stating our boundaries, or by asking them nicely to behave in a slightly different way. So is everyone around you a narcissist? Probably not. Not everyone around you is a psychopath, and you're probably not so empathetic that you put it all on yourself, and you're probably not hypersensible to all the stuff that happens around you. You probably just have a bad time. Stop putting labels on everyone and anything. With this video, I just want to encourage you to stop labeling things. It doesn't make sense. I mean, it makes the world easier for you, but what's the price of it? You easily can put people in the bad people category, and you will never find out what their true intentions were, and you make less friends. You have a less happy life, and if we start opening a category, we tend to put more and more people in it. So for the next couple of days, give it a try. Make it a game, make it a challenge, and assume that everyone around you has good intentions. And if you're already on this game or challenge, then you also should put yourself on a challenge to stop the overthinking, which is a virus in your mind, and it can kill all your relationships, even the one for yourself. So click that video, watch it, and tell me in the comments how that challenge worked.